Here is one question I know that you would love to find out more about. So, how does COP work? If we look at on the behind the scene, how does those meetings operate? Well, guess what? That's your lucky day because today this is what we're going to be talking about. So, stay tuned. Hello, fantastic, beautiful people. I'm always excited to talk to you, right? Every day, obviously, right? So, what we're going to do today, we're going to be talking about obviously how COP works. But before, I'm Tony Chi, I'm the founder here of Renewables in Africa. What we do is very simple. We raise awareness about renewables energy in Africa, but also across the globe, right? So, if you're a project developer, if you're an EPC company, if you're an investor or you're a supplier, you say, hey, this continent, I like to tap into that, I like to expand into it. Great, and I want to help you there. And I know there are two key questions you're probably going to ask yourself. Number one is, how can I reduce my business development costs? And number two, so how can I fast track access to customers? As simple as that. Yeah. And that's what I want to help you there because we have three things that we do that could definitely help you. The first thing is, you know, how can we help you to be more visible? Visibility, that's what we give you. The second thing is, how can you use that visibility to reach out to people that matter the most to you? Your customer, get the lead, people that buy your product, your services, and participate in your program. We want to help you get the lead, qualified lead from the visibility you're going to get. And the third thing, making sales. It's all about making sales at the end of the day. That's how you grow your business. I want to help you there. I want to show you, to give you trust and confidence, right? How we've done it for other people so that you could see, show you the machine that we use, and then you'll be very comfortable doing that. So reach out to me and let's have a conversation. But let's talk today about the behind the scene of COP, right? It's a question I'm sure that you have, right? Because COP lasts for about 2 weeks and includes plenary sessions, negotiation meetings, and also side events. And official negotiations are often held behind closed door. But many discussions are open to observers, right? And you have decisions are made by consensus, which which lead to lengthy negotiation. I'm sure you've seen that. Every time COPs tend to go beyond the actual scheduled finish date, right? Because there's conversations that are actually tough. And who are the key players at the COP? Yeah, parties. That's what we say conference of parties. Parties represent countries. They are the primary decision makers. They're negotiating on behalf of their government, those parties. Yeah. And observers as well, that will include NGOs, research institutions, indigenous groups, and businesses who offer insights but also advocate for specific issues, right? And the COP presidency is held by a different country each year, responsible for guiding the negotiation. This year is going to be Azerbaijan. That's why the COP is held in Baku, right? Now you understand it. Excellent. Now, what is the role of those working groups? Because there's a number of working groups that you see at COP, right? So I've been at COP 26, for example. Clearly, you can see things at play. So the working group focus on specific topics like adaptation, mitigation, finance. They will prepare draft and recommendation that are presented to the plenary, for approval. And those technical experts, from various countries often play a key role in these discussions. So let's now have a quick look at the negotiation processes and the kind of challenges that actually happen behind the scene, and that explain why sometimes those discussions will drag, on days. So they can be very intense, those negotiations, with countries having divergent interests, especially between developed and developing nations. Not the same. A major issue that we include, climate finance commitment, that's a big one. Loss and damage. There has been, a lot of COP, speaking about that, but finally, obviously, recently it was approved, it was recognized. And also a timeline, for emission reduction. Because whether you're a developed nation or a developing nation, it's not the same, right? So China would not want, or India would not want to phase out coal as the same time that, for example, UK would do, right? Because it's not a different economies, Reaching consensus is very difficult. You'll figure it out. You don't need me to tell you that you've seen that for yourself, right? And some decisions are deferred to future COP, right? That's what we say, for example, phase out coal. There's gonna be probably at some point in time. No, in fact, we did phase down, not phase out, right? But there's gonna be a point where you're gonna say no coal at all, right? But it has to be a progression, right? And you need agreement Otherwise, we cannot obviously come to a final conclusion, right? So it takes some time. And outcomes document declaration, that's what CUB usually concludes, with a decision document which set the agenda for future action. And this document outline commitments such as pledges for climate change, emission reduction target, and also adaptation strategies. And the Paris Agreement, and Glasgow Climate Pact, the example of such pivotal outcome. Hopefully, give you a little bit of an idea. I know it tends to be a little bit longer this video because it's important for me to give you that so that when we start hearing me talking about cap, banging your ears about that, you know what we're talking about here. Yeah, excellent. So I see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to share people that you know. Please do that for me, and I'll see you tomorrow because we have another couple of videos that I want to share for this week. Take care, guys. Bye bye.